it's Delta. I wanted to take today's video to go over what happened at the night house because I'm not 100% sure what it was that I saw at this point. I keep going over the footage and I get less and less confident of what it is. So I'm going to show the full clip and then we'll break it down and I'll go over it. So I'm going to show the full clip first right now. Where are we now?
That guy said there was a fire on that side of the house.
What the?
Mason.
I'm tripping out, dude. Holy crap. I don't know if that was on the camera or not. What? I thought. What did it say?
Did it say go time?
I swear.
Did you see something?
Yes.
Well, you got something right in between you?
Hey, I saw.
Yellow.
Oh.
It looked like I got freaked out because he was. You know how he said like people on drugs come by and try to come in the house. It looked like somebody walked by the window, and I started freaking out because I was like, somebody's it was so clear that I was like, oh, he's gonna be at that window and at the door.
Or that's off the ground.
And that's why I freaked out, because I realized that after that I was like, it's off the ground. That's like 20 feet in the air.
Good night. Good night. Hope you sleep well.
That freaked me out, dude.
Hopefully the camera card.
I hope so. Dude, I got goosebumps all over. Because I swear, I was like, I don't think it was just like a car.
Keep touching my headset.
What? No fucking way, dude!
Dog.
Dude!
Because I'm not like...
She said she just saw
Dude,
someone
Mason.
in that window.
Mason, I just saw, it looked like a whole ass person walk by the outside of that window to the point where my brain was like, that's one of those druggy homeless guys.
The bug touched me. I was like, no way.
Okay.
I was about to say.
Where, it looked like somebody walked past the outside of that window to the point where I thought they were going to come to this window next and be at the door, and I started freaking out.
Lasers.
And then I freaked out after that because I realized that window is 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And then you said whatever you just said that I can't remember because I'm freaking out.
Like it did it a couple times.
It didn't say, what did it say? I'm here? What did it just say? After that, before, because then he said something and then it lit up. Oh no, he said something touched his headset.
Yeah. It was at first I thought I had touched, it had caught the chair.
Yeah.
But it was like they went
Smacked it?
a couple times
And then that K2, is that the old K2?
Yes.
I think so, maybe.
Yes,
Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm like...
I was trying to set it to where it's more visible, but it'll fall over.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. So all those little details are important. What I say about the K2 is making sure that it was the old K2 is because I've done more testing with the older K2. I have 3, the 2 new ones I bought pretty recently, and they seem to be more sensitive with a different range than the old one. The old one I have more confidence with how it interacts with outside interference. So all that to say that older K2 is not going to go off just for anything, and it won't go off unless whatever is touching it is within a 5 to 8 inch range. So now to what I actually saw and how it's set up it's pretty obvious, and I kind of go over already in the video what I actually saw. But what I really, really, really saw was, I cannot explain it other than I saw a person walk by. And it was to the point that I literally was waiting for it to go by the next window. And the thoughts happened so quickly that I was like, it's going to be at that window. That's a real person. It is going to be at that window next, and they are going to try to come in that front door because Eric, the owner, had told us that they sometimes get people in the middle of the night. They have the outside lights on all the time, so he said it's literally like moths to a flame, where they will like just show up at the house and like try to knock or come in. And so I wasn't even thinking anything paranormal. I was like thinking, I was literally about to open my mouth and say, Zay, go make sure that door is locked. Because not only did I think it was a person go by so much that I thought they were going to come to that door, I thought it was a person coming by so much that I assumed Abby and Zay, who were to the right of me, I assumed they already saw this person as well. So my next thought after the first two, which the very first one was just like, that's a person walking by the window, and then, oh Lord, that person is going to try to come into this house, was we are on the second floor. And that was when my blood ran cold because I was like, this person isn't real. Whatever I'm seeing was not a live human person walking by this window. And I was so shook. I was like shaking. Obviously, I freaked out, obviously. And so that's when I'm like, what did I see then? And so then after I get my bearings a little bit, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was a car that went by because they were going by. And I was like, let's just make sure that it wasn't a car that went by. And where I was standing was slightly more forward in the room towards the window than where I was sitting in the couch the first time when I actually saw it happen. And so I was standing further forward in the room than when I was sitting back in the room, and that's important for later. So, luckily, I did get a car going by the window on camera as well. It does look different because I am in a different spot than I was. And I will show them back to back. I'll go ahead and show what I saw, like the first initial one. I'll play it a couple times, just the segment of like what it was going by the window. I'll play that a couple times over and then I'll like slow it way down and then I'll come right back.
Play, 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 play.
So that is the clip of what I saw. And now I will play you the clip of the car going by and we'll do kind of a side by side. So those are both of the clips, the thing I saw and then the car going by. And obviously there are some similarities and some differences. So the main difference is the big lower part of like the actual light from the headlights going by on the car. However, there are the like two dots of light above it, and they are very, very, very similar to the two dots of light in the first clip. So earlier when I said it's important where I'm standing in both of these clips, the first one of the thing I saw, I am sitting down farther back in the room. The car, I am standing up farther into the room. So why that is important is that I do fear that what I saw originally may have been a car going by, and I still say may because it's not, I don't have 100% on this. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. We'll have my final thoughts at the end of this. So, the actual dots of lights themselves, even if we say that that beam of light is missing because I am in a different spot than where I was before, the two sets of dots of light still seem different and they still look like they move different. There's only the one road. It's just a 2-lane road. Uh, that's it, and it's like I have no idea how far back, like 100 to 200 feet off the road, or like from the road, maybe not that much. It's set. The house is set very far back off of the road, and that's the only road that goes by that house. Um, so what I'm getting at is like there's a lot of outside factors. It could be just like the difference in make and model and year of the car. It could have been a truck versus a car, LED headlights versus different headlights. So, like that big plume of light that is missing could be from all any of these factors other than something paranormal. And all of this buildup and all of these little facts are for option one. And option one is that I saw a car going by and my brain autofilled it to something else. Logically, that is most likely what happened, just because of everything. However, I'm still hung up on a couple of facts that make me still wonder if what I saw wasn't that. The first one being I was pretty much staring directly at the window the whole time, either through my camera lens or like right there, because I was like watching what I was recording, like looking around a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I was looking straight forward. And the reason I saw it so clearly is because I was like staring at it like right then the whole time. It wasn't something that like caught my eye and I looked over and like saw half of it happen. I was staring directly in that direction and I just saw like person. It wasn't like when you see a car go by and like you obviously see like the light lighting up the whole window frame or something like that. It was like shoulders, head, person. That is like the biggest thing because it made me react in such a way that I was like, this is a person that is going to try to enter this house. The other thing is how different it looked from the first thing I saw to trying to see if in that moment if it was a car that went by, and it looked night and day different. It like you can just hear me react to it. Like it was I was like, that's not what I saw. It did not look like a car going by. I know what a car going by looks like. Like I'm not that dumb. I know what a car going by a window looks like. I've lived in a house before. The third thing that still makes me think that it could have been something other than car headlights is the other things happening at the same time. Like I saw that, and then Mason said it felt like something hit his headset while his head is like like in this position, like motionless, essentially. And I do trust Mason 100% on these kind of things. He's not gonna he's not gonna fake something like that, especially when he has absolutely no idea what's going on, like what we're doing. I was like he didn't know that was happening until I told him. And then like after that happened, the K2 meter went off, and like the reason I said all that other stuff about the older K2 being more reliable, or that I've done more testing with the older K2, is because that's the one that was just sitting there and it wasn't budging at all that whole time. And then I saw the thing, the headset, and then the K2. And that is when I feel like I get the most reliable evidence, is when it's like two or three things happening stacked on top of each other at the same time. If it's like just something on the K2 or like just something on the spirit box, I have a little less confidence in what I find. But when it's like three things at the same time, that's when I feel like is the most reliable that something happens, because you have to debunk three different things that just happen at the exact same time. That's also why I went over these clips so many times, just to make sure, so I could 100% say it one way or the other. And I don't know if I can or not still. I will say it is probably most likely a car. It just did not look like a car to me in that moment looking directly at that window. But since I am choosing to be a paranormal investigator, I know it is my job to debunk anything like this to the fullest extent of my abilities. And even if that means correcting something that I originally thought was one thing and now realizing that it could very well be something else, I need to make sure that I do that so that I don't get hung up on something, even though I do feel like I'm probably still hung up on this because, like, I know what I saw. So, officially on the record, this was probably a car that went by. Unofficially, off the record, I'm not 100% sure what I saw because I know what a car headlight going by a window looks like. But this is the hard part of paranormal investigating that you don't see a lot of. The bigger name people do is backtrack and correct yourself if you feel like you either misled or incorrectly labeled something. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys aren't mad at me for leaning one way or the other about this, just because I don't want to definitively say it was or wasn't something and then end up being wrong on either side if it was paranormal or car headlights. It logically, it was probably car headlights. I just think it's very important to make these videos so that you guys can trust any evidence we do have, just so you know that we aren't writing everything off as paranormal. We really do go over this and try to think what it could have been if not paranormal. We want to make sure we can cross XYZ off before we say 100% definitively that something is paranormal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the Night House investigation regardless. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like, comment, share. Uh, we're a real paranormal team that we try to get as real evidence as we can, and if that means long, boring videos, maybe our videos are on the longer, slightly boring side. So we'll see you guys next week for our third installment of Meet the Crew. We'll have the introduction of the new fellas that's been in our team, and then the week after that, we'll start our Waverly investigation. So definitely look forward to that, guys. So have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.